Right now at 9 o'clock, cases of coronavirus climbing, unemployment numbers going up right along with it.
It was devastating, and we're still devastated.
Schools shut down. Now students and families turning living rooms into classrooms for the rest of the school year. What this means for students and their teachers.
I signed an executive order directing Arizonans to stay home.
Governor Ducey taking executive action to try to slow the spread of coronavirus in our state. What has changed and what this means for you? And good morning, Arizona, here at 9 o'clock on this Tuesday. I'm Scott. We appreciate you joining us.
I'm Yetta, and that's where we begin this morning. Governor Doug Ducey signing that stay-at-home order yesterday for all of us here in Arizona as cases of coronavirus is going up.
So the big question, what does this mean for all of us? You at home. Governor Ducey joining us live in studio this morning. We're doing our social distancing thing, so across the way, good morning, Governor. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
It doesn't seem like this really changes anything from what we were all doing in the days past.
Oh, sure it does. There is a directive out now from state government to stay at home. Now, I want people to also stay healthy and stay connected. But our cities, I mean, I'm all over the state, but we've basically been shut down for some time. People are inside their houses. Schools are closed. Churches aren't congregating. All large events have dispersed. Spring training left town. There's no Major League Baseball. There's no large sports or gatherings. Now there's a directive from the governor's office, and it's going to stay in existence until April 30th. We'll reevaluate at that time.
Now, Governor, a lot of questions coming from our viewers about all of the essential businesses that you have listed, and there's a long list of those. For example, golf courses, nail salons. Why are those considered essential when you have a stay-at-home order that you initiated
So the
yesterday?
objective is not to shut down businesses. There are essential services that are needed out there. The idea is to socially distance, okay, and to have this physical distance from each other. If you're sick, you should stay home. If you can stay home, you should stay home. But we also know there's a mental health component to this. People do need to buy their groceries. I'm asking people to please only buy a week's worth of groceries for a week's worth of need. We have a strong supply chain, and every time we've increased and escalated our guidance, there's been concern and anxiety and fear, but you don't need to buy more toilet paper than you normally would need. We're using the National Guard to get those shelves restocked, and we're confident there are job opportunities out in the grocery stores. So again, if you're healthy, you're displaced, and you're looking for employment, they can help you.
So this begins at 5 p.m. tonight. Since you announced this yesterday, as you know, there's been some criticism from other politicians, some mayors around the valley. What's your reaction to that criticism and then them saying, well, you can't go to a salon without being close to one another?
I'm very confident that we're making the right decisions. I'm being advised by subject matter experts. I've got Dr. Kara Christ, the person that led the state through H1N1, Ebola, the 2016 measles outbreak. I'm on a video conference call twice a week with Dr. Tony Fauci and Dr. Deborah Birx in Washington, D.C. We're following CDC guidance in Arizona. Our situation in Arizona is different than what you're seeing in New York and on CNN every morning and every night. They were hit first and hit harder. We're in a position today where we can prevent this, we can plan ahead, and we can prioritize what's most important for our citizens. And I'm asking people to please stay at home and only go to essential businesses, but most of the time be at home. But if you are outside, you can physically distance. You have that 6 feet, and if you do that, you're doing the right thing and you're being safe. And I've been going to work every morning, including the weekends. The city of Phoenix has basically been shut down. Today it was even more shut down. Glendale was like a parkway. There's no one out there.
Do you expect to whittle down some of these essential businesses? Because, I mean, just to keep it real, you cannot get a manicure and be socially distanced.
Like I said, the objective here is not to shut down businesses. It's to slow the spread. And the guidance that we have here is really a best practice of what we're seeing in other states that have been hit before us and hit harder.
What is the directive to local law enforcement as far as people that may not obey this? You've said something about a misdemeanor. Do you think it will ever result in a fine?
Well, it's a Class 1 misdemeanor. It can result in the fine. You shouldn't be gathering in groups of larger than 10. That's the directive from Washington, D.C. I would go further than that. You shouldn't be gathering in any groups. That's not what's safe. It's that physical distancing. Now, you see some of these pictures of people, you know, at 5 o'clock gathering around the cul-de-sac, all 10 feet apart from each other, having happy hour. That's a way to have some fun with this and to physically distance. But really, break the party up. Let's go inside. There's a lot of good things. I'm hearing there's good things on Netflix. I'm not watching them. But if people will stay home, if they'll have that physical distance, they'll slow the spread, and we can prepare in this state for what's going to be a tough couple months.
What are your experts telling you on how bad it's going to get or could get here in Arizona? This stay at home through the end of April, is that because you believe it will peak out by then?
What I'm being told by subject matter experts is that we're going to see the peak of our illnesses in April, and we'll see the peak of our hospitalizations in May. So we will be prepared in Arizona. We are prepared right now. Of course, we're going to accumulate more for our supply chain. That's the gloves and the gowns and the masks. And I want to start out by saying to anybody who's been affected by this disease, we've all been affected indirectly. But those that have been affected directly, those that have this disease, this virus, my heart goes out to you. It goes out to your families. Our first responders, our doctors and nurses, they're working around the clock. That's why we've been working so hard to make sure that they have the supplies they need so they can be safe, but that they can also care and comfort for the people in Arizona that are going to need it.
Governor, what do you say to the people who are employed by these essential businesses who, are still coming to work and maybe they don't want to be at work? Are they going to be protected if they don't want to be there?
Well, you are an essential business here, and it looks like you told basically everybody to stay home except you two. That's what I'm seeing in almost every essential business. So what I want the people to do is to be responsible, and Arizonans are smart. They have common sense. They're demonstrating that, and most of these businesses are finding work from home policies using things like technology, FaceTime type things where they can video conference, and that's what I'm asking owners to do.
So obviously everybody's taking a financial hit. It doesn't matter who you are, one way or another you are, and so is the state right now. How long do you see the state taking to recover from something like this? Does the budget cover for this? We're going to have to go into the rainy day fund?
So my first priority is always going to be on the public health side of things. The good news is we are in a strong financial position as a state. We've seen the economy just fall off a cliff. But we are prepared financially at the state level. I'm going to use every tool in the toolbox. A $2 trillion package from the federal government to stretch and strengthen that social safety net. $1 billion in our rainy day fund, $1 billion surplus is what we had in the budget as we headed out to do that. So I want to make sure that everyday Arizonans and small and medium businesses get every opportunity to survive through this. Nobody's going to be evicted from their apartment. People aren't going to have their place of business locked up or evictions there. People aren't going to lose their homes. We need to get through this, and then I'm confident our economy will rise again.
Governor, I have just a couple more questions for you. There are businesses out there. We hear what you're saying about all of the consultation that you've gotten from the health leaders in our state, but there are some businesses out there that need specific rules on what they should be doing, especially these essential businesses that do one-on-one work that are still considered essential. Will your office give people and businesses specific instructions? Because the beauty industry alone is very curious and very lost on what they should be doing right now.
Yeah, we'll be working with industry associations and leaders in those specific categories for guidance.
Also, how are you doing? Because this is not something you can prepare for as a governor. I don't care which state you're in. How are you doing personally?
Well, thank you for asking. My concern every day is for the citizens of the state of Arizona. The team that has this as its top priority. I mean, this is my top priority, my team's top priority, Dr. Kara Christ's top priority. I've been trying to make certain that all of them are doing well, and they really are rising to the occasion. And listen, I have a great support system. I have a wonderful wife and family. I'm looking forward to downtime, but it's going to be some time until that happens.
Well, obviously, it's important that you would stay healthy. So thank you for coming in. By the way, the order is on your website if people want to read it so they can try to get a clarification. And we're all going to get through this.
Yeah. We're going to get through it. Let's get through it together. Yeah. Let's stay together as we get through it, and we'll come out better and stronger on the other side.
Well said,
Governor Ducey, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.